Hello, Ila. Thank you for joining us this morning. If that's okay, I would like to set the scene for our discussion very shortly, just for the sake of our listener and our broader audience today. The main idea is really to share with everyone what becoming an AI frontier firm, organization, companies is all about. It will be great if you can introduce yourself so the audience will be able to get to know you, your role in Nuvei, and some background around Nuvei in general.
Sure. So first of all, thank you for having me. So my name is Ila. I joined Nuvei about 4 months ago. My role in Nuvei is SVP AI, and I'm heading the Chief Product and Technology Office. And essentially is bringing AI to every layer of the company. It's from its products to its platform and the way that the teams are working internally on the everyday basis. My experience has been around the data science and AI space for the past, I think, 17 years. I started with a master's in distributed algorithms and as a data scientist, but throughout time, I think I identified the gap that we see today even stronger in between the algorithms and the power it can bring and the business who's not completely sure on how you can leverage that. So Nuvei is a payment platform that transforms the way that payments are being processed across all markets and everywhere. It's about processing billions of transactions across different payment methods and different markets, and essentially providing services everywhere.
Great. So I think it's a great foundation for our following question. And I'm curious, as one who really lead the core competency of AI nowadays in Nuvei, what is really frontier for you?
Being frontier in AI, to me, means a cultural change in the essence and the way that things are being managed, built, incorporated. Being in the AI ecosystem for the past years has showed me that it's really about how you adapt and adopt the different technology, but in essence, how you educate your company to be an AI first organization. It means not just experimenting at the edges with AI, but essentially fundamentally changing the way that everything is being built. When governance and security is in the core of everything we do, and that's a completely different conversation, right? Security in the AI world is extremely important, not just for our customers, but also for the organization itself. And Microsoft allows to do that. It's something that we understand that a culture change requires to help people cross the barrier of fear, what it means to rely on AI as opposed to doing things on my own way, and also to understand the power it can have. The more we fear from things, the less we're willing to take a leap. And that's why I think it's a cultural change. Technology can be amazing, and you can find many companies talking about how they adopt AI. But at the end of the day, it's really about working with your product teams and your developers to adopt the new tools that exist, help them go through the journey of relaxation into new technology, and going through the process of not everything will be owned by me, but at the end of the day, I'm getting and receiving a lot of value from using LLM-like solutions.
If you had to choose like one tangible example, it can be around, processes, function, maybe outcomes that the AI technology by itself created for you or Nuvei a significant transformation or an unprecedented results, what would you choose?
So I think, as I said, I joined 4 months ago, and the first thing that we did is build our vision on how we incorporate AI into the two different lenses. So the two lenses are a culture change, and I'm going to explain what difference we made with that, and also a value-added product. So the culture change came from two different areas. One is an AI champion committee, where we worked with each and every department across the entire organization to identify an AI champion. And the AI group that I manage is now working with that committee to identify and map different use cases. 10 years ago or 5 years ago, we had product managers identifying where AI or any tech solution can replace manual work or give value. Today, each and every person can do that by understanding what AI brings to the table and knowing the business case. So working with 50 different AI champions across the organization allows us much larger scale into identifying the potential. And then we'll also train alongside with Microsoft, who gives us a lot of training and licenses and hours of assistance to work with the champions to transform the way they work. They're going to build on their own the solutions. People can do that today. It has become commodity in a way. It's no longer being held and managed just by the AI or data science group in the organization. And we're giving that ownership to the employees themselves. So that's a cultural change. And from a value added essence, Nuvei is a payment processor and one that is transforming the way that it works into an intelligent platform. The first thing that we did, moving toward an agentic commerce platform, is we built our own integration agent, which allows our customers to integrate into our systems what used to take weeks or even months into a couple of hours. It requires from the merchant side to have their own ID and agent on the developer side. But once they have that, and we have merchants who do, it just communicates with our own agent and is able to create the integration code on its own, two agents talking to one another. There's a lot of buzz today in the ecosystem and the industry on MCP. MCP is a wrapper to the APIs, so we went a step further, identified that integrations is a very painful part in working with our merchants across the industry, and not for Nuvei, in the sense of every integration requires a lot of time, effort, and resources. So we chose that to be the first use case, and we just launched a couple of weeks ago our first integration agent that allows merchants to do that much quicker, and the acknowledgement from the market is really huge around that.
From your point of view, if you had to choose one of the biggest advantages in partnering with Microsoft, whether it's technology, security, a business, go-to-market, what would you say?
I have to say that partnering with Microsoft not just changed our set of cloud or AI tools, but really transformed the broader way we look at our platform. So we just recently moved our cashier, a UI interface and also part of our platform, into the cloud. And while it can sound like a very technical move, it fundamentally changed everything we do. Consistency and scale across different markets, across different payment methods. And I think most important is security and governance from day one. So there is a lot of, and rightfully, there is a lot of concern in the industry today on security and the use of different LLM or any AI tools. Azure and Microsoft has built a great foundation to allow us to start with playing and then building and then deploying AI models from day one. I think one more thing that I really enjoy, and I think the teams are really enjoying by working with Azure, is the Azure AI Foundry.
Yeah.
So Azure AI Foundry is a great tool that allows us to move toward the agentic commerce that we're working on. Having agents that reason, act, and integrate everything that we do into our day-to-day processes and the product that we deliver has been significantly a game changer to what we do today. I think that at the end of the day, Microsoft is providing us with the right tools, with the flexibility to build everything with the right people supporting us. The infrastructure itself, it what allows us to consistently scale across the world with every payment method and everywhere we go.
So it seems like amazingly it's resonate with the Microsoft mission, which is pretty much providing you the tooling platform for yourself to build your own tool. And I have no doubt that this mutual evolution will continue between the two companies. And I'm super excited, I'm sure you are as well, to see where we will go from here. So thank you very much again for your time.
Thank you so much for having me, Alan.